never go light on the patterns on this channel. Hello and welcome to my channel, Haylee Marie Vintage. Today, as you can see, I have a fabric patterns and sewing nonsense haul. This is everything I've collected in, it's been 4 or 5 months. It's been a while since my last one. I can tell I'm getting better at planning my projects and buying less random nonsense. However, there's still a lot of random nonsense here. Don't even worry about it. So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump in. The order is going to be tools, random nonsense, trims, buttons, patterns, and then fabric at the very end. I will have chapters down below if in case you're only interested about one thing. This round I actually have a bunch of new interesting tools because I've been going to some different sewing stores. I went to sewing stores that closed out. But first up, I got some really nice shears. These were expensive. These were like $70 shears. However, they cut fabric like butter. They're so much better than any other pair of shears I've owned. Like, I've spent more on other pairs of shears that I don't like as much. Like, combined. They've all been around like the most I've spent on shears so far has been $30. So this is about double that, and I will say they were definitely worth it for me. This is the Kai 7250 10-inch shears. I also got this interesting little seam ripper. It has a seam ripper on both sides, and then I think you can like pull out the threads with this. I don't totally know how that works, but I'm curious to find out. I also got a button chisel. I don't know if that's the correct term, but basically what it is it has this sharp flat end. You put it in a buttonhole and you hammer it, and then you have a buttonhole. It's just supposed to work cleaner than other ways, so I thought I would give it a try, and this was again at a sale where there were just a bunch of tools. I also got some other random snips, I guess. I just got these because I'm always losing these, and so the more backups I have, kind of the better at this point. I got some bias tape things. I got this from a resale shop, which is why it's in this bag. Got a little one and a bigger one. I feel like I'm always picking these up when I see them because this is another tool that I'm constantly losing. I don't know why, but I am always losing my bias tape makers, so having a bunch on backup is always a good call for me. I also got this Clover marker. It is in gray. I have one in pink that I really like, and gray I think is useful for kind of like pinks, things that I can't use the pink one on. And I also got a refill. This was again at that shop that was closing, so it was a better deal. I got a grommet setter. I've been slowly wandering into corsetry, which means I need set grommets, and so I got this really nice kit, I think off of like corsetsupplies.com or something like that. I haven't used it yet. Obviously it's still in the package, but I'm excited to give it a go. I got a pressing bar. Super thrilling things. I used one of these on the sewing retreat I went on recently, and I really liked it, so I went ahead and picked one up. More on corsetry, I got a bunch of different types of boning and rolls. So far, the steel boning is my favorite. It just has the best flexibility and doesn't get like set in weird positions. So I don't think I'll ever buy plastic again. I think I'll always stick with steel because I have like big wire cutters that cut through it fine. So it's a pretty easy one for me to use, and I just really prefer the quality of it. And with that, I also got tips and things like that. Another thing I got was underwires. I got this for a very specific project, but then they didn't fit the pattern. I'm not really quite sure how underwires are supposed to fit any patterns, because I've used a few patterns that I could use an underwire in, and these underwires, even though I got them in multiple sizes, don't fit any of them. So that's a bit of a bummer, but I'll keep them in my stash and maybe one day I'll use them. I think that's pretty much it for tools. So let's go into notions. So my first notion I'm gonna show you is this. So I got a bunch of zippers as always. My zipper collection is quite out of control at this point. As I was keeping my eye out for lots on Etsy, there are a ton of 16-inch white ones, brand new in boxes. So I picked up that lot because I use white zippers like that a ton. They are all nylon, which is not usually what I use, but they'll do the trick. And I definitely was like, it's nice to have them in boxes in a bunch of different sizes, so I have a ton. And then I just have some other zipper lots in here as well. I have like this zipper lot, which has a good amount and variety in it, and then I have this zipper lot. I don't know. I always, like I said, when I see metal zipper lots, I pick them up because there's only so many left in the world, and I guess I feel the need to hoard them all for some reason. And then some other random nonsense I got. I picked up some vintage flowers for like hat making or possibly details on garments. We'll see how they go. I just thought these were really pretty. They are kind of like little forget-me-nots, which are one of my favorite flowers. And then these I picked up at a vintage shop, and I just thought they would make like a really nice something for my hair. They're really beautiful. Like the detail in them is really nice. Vintage flowers are just so much higher quality. Let's see, trims. These are just some pom-poms I picked up. They're cute little pom-pom trims that are really nice and soft. I thought they might be good for, I don't know, I had no real strategy with these. Similar to those, I got some, I forget what this is called, but I bought it to use for lacing in my gunny sacks. I just felt like having some different colors would be nice to have kind of in the white lacings are fine, but I thought it would be pretty and fun to have some colorful lacings for my gunny sacks. Similarly, I got, well, so this is a whole story. I had picked up a bunch of these laces. They work really well for gunny sacks. Dresses period, but specifically where you actually like lace them up. So I had picked up these and then I could not find them anywhere for the life of me. So then I picked up more of these. So now I have so many different laces, but I also have some different colors for this. And again, these I'll be using to like lace up the corset part of the gunny sacks. And I'm just trying to convince myself it's worth having all the different colors. And I order from that store, which I'll link down below, because I really like their trims. They're really high quality. Of course, I found it like the day after the order came in, and I'm like, great. Similarly, I also ordered this cording from them. This cording is too thick for what I use for like gunny sack stuff, so I need to figure out if this might just be a donate. And then on the topic of trims, I picked up this really nice lace. Just a really thick, beautiful lace. There is 3/4 of a yard, which is not enough for anything, so I'm feeling a little mystified on why I picked this up. I think it was just so pretty, and I am a magpie. I also picked up from Style Maker Fabrics, which I was in their store. That's where I got my expensive shears. I picked up 2 lace trims. They're rayon lace ribbons, that's the word I'm looking for. And these I each bought for very specific projects. They're too expensive to buy for hoarding, I guess. And then similarly, when I did my unicorn gunny sacks, I picked up a ton of different trims because I didn't know what color I'd want to go with. So now I just have a ton of colors of these ribbons, so I'm just gonna add them to my stash, and then I'll have a bunch of options hopefully anytime I'm making a gunny sacks like dress, which with how much I've been enjoying making those, there's many more of those to come. So having this lace in my stash is not a bad thing. And then I got some beaded trims that I thought were cute. I don't know the yardage on these. This says 36. And then this one is definitely a lot more. I still don't know, but they're just cute. I don't know. I like beaded trim, and I liked both of these beaded trims. Although I've gotten kind of fixated. I don't know. I think in the future I'd probably make my own trims, so there's a chance these end up redonated, but I am going to keep them in my stash for now. These are just some jean hardware kits that I picked up because I am going to tackle jeans. It's going to happen. I'm deeply afraid, but I am going to do it. And then this all is buttons. I'm going to probably just lay them out and show you guys, but I want to highlight 3 of my favorite ones I picked up. So this first one is a beautiful mother of pearl set that have like they just have like a carved detail in them that I really, really enjoy and think is absolutely gorgeous. So I picked it up because of that. And then I also picked up these. They're like brown, kind of bullseye looking buttons, and they are a Victorian set of buttons. And then the last one that I picked up are these kind of cool, like toggly buttons that I think would look really cute, like down the front of something. They're just like a really fun statement button, and I love a statement button. Everything else in here is just kind of various colors. I have a lot of glass buttons in here. I'm a real sucker for a glass button. I can't help myself. I just think they're beautiful. Lots of 1940s button styles, like the kind of like early plastic buttons. These are some, I always really enjoy that, including these. These are some plastic buttons that I picked up for my strawberry outfit that I made recently. I will put that in the eye, whichever side it's on. Very, very happy about these buttons. Next up, we'll move into patterns, I think. We are gonna do patterns next. I'm gonna start with the most modern and work our way back. First up, I have this costume for adults. These are a bunch of patterns of like Halloween costumes. This is a 2008 pattern, right during the prime years where I desperately wanted to wear a costume like this, but was not allowed to. So I saw it in one of my friend's stash and I picked it up in my size because I was like, I absolutely have to make one of these, which stay tuned. That's a little sneak peek on what you're gonna see in this channel in October. I also got, it's this really nice blanket jacket pattern. I've been seeing all these upcyclings of blankets from the thrift stores into jackets that I think are really cute. So when I came across this pattern at a thrift store, I thought it would be absolutely perfect for that. And I also really like the fringed version. I've become semi-obsessed with overalls. So I have this overall pattern. I also really like the like super loose legs on these and the like shape they make in the back. I think they're really cute. I'm planning on making, there's rainbow overalls. I think they're Lee's from the 70s that they sell for like $300 or $400 on Etsy when they come up because they're super hard to find. So my thought is using this pattern to make my own rainbow pair of overalls. And this one I have fabric picked out. This one I saw somebody make something on TikTok out of this pattern that I thought was absolutely adorable and I had to have. So I went and I lickety-split snatched up this pattern because, as you know, if anything starts to go viral on TikTok, you cannot find those listings after it goes viral. This one I picked up in a physical shop. It has just some really interesting smocking details. Looking at it, it is not my favorite silhouette necessarily, but I kind of like following something like this for the idea of me starting to learn smocking, just because I would like to learn to smock, but I'm not good at practicing just to practice. I need to kind of have a purpose or a garment, so I think this is a good option for me. Next up, we're going into our older patterns. I'm gonna guess these are maybe 40s. This is a really cute pair of shorts. The reason I picked them up is there's buttons on each side, so the fly like folds down. And I think I might have a better chance of having this fit my waist and my butt because I basically have 2 points that zip down to give me enough room to get in and out. We'll see if that theory stands. And then also kind of on my shorts nonsense, I picked up this pair of shorts and pants pattern. Those are those, and then we have more patterns, don't you worry. Never go light on the patterns on this channel. So I have a bunch of 1950s patterns that are kind of party dresses. These I picked up in person. I thought this one was nice with the ties in the front, and I liked how full the gored dress is. And dresses like these are usually pretty easy to make, and I really liked the fullness. Similarly, there is this dress. I had actually been looking at this pattern online for specifically the little person in the pink here. I liked the poofy sleeves and like the sweetheart neckline under thing it has going on, but I also think the weird ruffle bustle thing in the back is really, really fun. I also picked up this one. I think this one's absolutely beautiful. I really like the trim placement as well as the collar. I love a square neckline on myself, and I actually don't make enough square necklines for how much I like them. This pattern here, oh, it's falling apart. Oh my god, it does not seem like there's enough pattern pieces for this pattern. Praying that it's a complete pattern, but it's this really nice basic like 1950s dress with a sweetheart neckline, and the reason I picked this one up is because it has all of these different add-on pieces. Like it has a little like capelet you can add on, like these 2 buttons in the front. They have you using as all sorts of convertible pieces. I was just intrigued by this, and I am planning on making this up in November, I think, on this channel, so you will see this project very soon. I also picked up this 1950s house dress pattern, I guess. I really like this wrap dress. It's really interesting. It reminds me a little bit of those swirl dresses, which Christina of With Love Christina kind of introduced me to those swirl dresses. I can't afford a swirl dress, so instead I think I'm going to make one. This one here is just, there's some interesting asymmetricalness and interesting stripe play that can be done with this. So that's why I picked this one up. This one is a nice, cute little scalloped collar. We combined the words into scallard. Marion Martin pattern. I just thought the way this neckline is really, really cute and feminine, and I don't really have anything like it in my collection. And similarly, I picked up this Ann Adams pattern. While I definitely have this skirt in my collection, I thought the like loose kind of capelet top thing was really, really pretty. And I can see myself making one to wear in the winter and the fall here. So that is the plan with that one. I kind of went on like, I had a day where I was having a bad day and I just went and looked at 1940s patterns, which is why I picked up a lot of these. This one here is a Jimmy Sims of Roco Radio Hollywood pattern. I don't know the number on this pattern. It is falling apart. However, I really liked the scalloped neckline and like going down of this dress. And I think the way they placed the bow here is really, really cute. It's just a long sleeve and a short sleeve. It says that there is a dicky pattern included, which we love to see. This one here, it again uses kind of a button system with like some collar pieces to make the dress really versatile. And then I've been really loving when I make a dress that is flat in the front and all the gathers are on the hips and around the back. I just think it's a really cute look for me. I mean, I think it's a really good, cute look for a lot of people, but specifically I love it on me. Similarly, yeah, this all was on that same like I'm sad day. This is another 1940s pattern with a sweetheart neckline. This is very reminiscent of some 70s patterns actually, or I guess the 70s patterns are reminiscent of this one since it came first. The way the belt is done in this, like the way the ties are, is very similar to like how you make a gunny sacks. So I just always find pieces like this interesting because they're clear, direct inspiration for pieces like gunny sacks, and I will always find that fascinating. Next up, I got a dewberry. I don't get dewberry patterns that often. They're relatively hard to find. And once I saw this one, I knew I had to have it because it was this cute little jumper. This jumper actually reminds me of my school uniform, but it's much cuter. And then the last one is another sweetheart. Wow, we are klutzy today. Another sweetheart dress. I thought this just had a bunch of different interesting like lace and thing like placements, and this is a Betty Grable of Paramount. I'm also more familiar with who she is as opposed to the radio lady I just talked about earlier. So that is all of the patterns. We made it through, and now we will go through this giant stack of fabric. So first up, let's talk about this particular set of fabric. I don't know if you can tell, but I don't want to get it out till I'm sewing with it because it has sparkles in it, and I only want to have glitter out when I'm working with it. This is going to destroy my machine. This is some sparkly tulle. This is some green velvet, and then this is some, I was gonna say blue, but it's clearly purple taffeta. These are all for one project. This is for one of my Halloween projects. Feel free to guess down below unless your name is Catherine Young, because you know what I'm making. Actually, I think a few people know what I'm making. So if you know what it is, you're not allowed to say, but this is a sneak peek of what's coming Halloween. I'm gonna do 6 weeks straight of sewing. There's actually a ton of previews in this for what's actually going to get sewn up during that time. Speaking of Halloween teasers, I guess, I have this. They're little beetles. It's like beetle fabric. The Closet Historian used this on her channel recently-ish, February maybe. And I absolutely fell in love with the fabric, so I had Mood notify me when it came back in stock, and I got it in both the light blue, which I'm gonna make this a blouse, and then this one is the purple one, and I'm gonna make a spectacular 1940s Halloween dress out of this, so stay tuned for that. So now we're kind of, all of these were unplanned buys. Those that I just showed you were all planned. This is just some light blue cotton voile fabric that I picked up because I liked the color and I really like working with this type of fabric, and I picked it up for blouses, sleeves, other details. I don't know. I didn't have a game plan when I picked this up. So I had no game plan when I picked this up, but I absolutely adore it. I will probably have to show a close-up here, but this looks like funfetti. It's a jersey knit. I'm scared of knits, so we're gonna tackle our fears and we're gonna make a knit top, and it's gonna be beautiful. And since the fabric reminds me of funfetti, it's going to be fun. This one here, I have 2 yards of it. It's this really nice, cute drink fabric. It's really soft. I think this is a shirting. It's super comfy feeling, so I keep debating whether I want to make some summer pajamas or like night dress out of this. I have lots of night dress patterns, and I think this would be cute. This one here, also another impulse buy, 1940s printed fabric. These look like anemone flowers, I think. I don't quite remember the flowers these look like, but I thought they were absolutely stunning, and these are a color that I really love. I would really like to make a really cute dress out of this. I'm thinking with like candy colored buttons and I don't know, lots of frills and lace. This one here actually is another one that I planned to buy. This is for my Halloween gunny sacks. I picked up some fabric out of this collection last year for this project, and it's from the Sweet and Spookier fabric line. Their Halloween fabrics are absolutely gorgeous and really high quality, so I highly recommend. This one was a buy from the fabric store that closed. I have 4 5/8 yards, so they probably cut me an extra 1/8 on accident. It's, I think, a Ruby Star Society fabric. These really cute pink fruits with a little gold outline. This is, I believe, also a Ruby Star. It's this really cute, like, cactusy thing. I bought the very last fabric on the bolt of this one because I absolutely adored it. And I'm going to make, I think this is a linen mix, and I'm going to make a nice little, like, short sleeve shirt out of it that's a button down. This one I also picked up. This is 3 3/8 yard, and it's these little watermelons on gingham. This will probably be a summer dress next year. I've been really into fruit prints. I've always been really into fruit prints. It's not like that's new for me. Brand on this is a Robert Kaufman. I also really like Robert Kaufman's ginghams. I've always found them really, really pleasant to work with. This one was also from the closing craft store. I liked that there was a mix of fruit and vegetables, so I could pretend it's something different, but I have so many pink fabrics with fruits and vegetables on it that it's a little ridiculous, but I just imagined something very cute out of this, and I couldn't stop myself. Next up, I have these. I have a very clear picture of my head of a pair of shorts with scissors all over them. This is a gorgeous bottom weight linen, also from Ruby Star Society, and I picked this up again at the sale. So this is a gorgeous mushroom fabric. I have a plan. I bought this initially for one really over-the-top maxi dress, but I have so many maxi dresses in my closet right now. I think instead I'm going to make one mini dress and then this like weird 60s set that has like little bloomer shorts with like a weird top thing. So I'll get a couple different projects out of this because I bought 7.5 yards because I'm an insane person. This last fabric here is absolutely stunning and the most expensive by yard fabric I've ever bought. This is from Mood. It is a silk designer fabric that was, I'm not coughing because of the price. I just all of a sudden got a tickle. I got it on sale when Mood was 20% off, but I think this is like a $90 a yard fabric. I only got 2.5 yards. I'm thinking of using it as an overlay on like a plain cotton dress. I think it would be really stunning there, but I just thought this fabric was beautiful and it's not reorderable, so it's not one that I can just like sit and wait and think on forever. So I did pick it up even though it was hugely expensive and I will be very scared to use it, but I just think it is absolutely stunning. It is very much like my style. I have a vision for this fabric and I knew I would really regret not buying it. That concludes, I have cleared the table of the chaos. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I am very excited about all the upcoming projects from the things I showed you, and I do think I'm getting better at buying things for specific projects. I would say 25% of this haul was bought for a specific project, which is a big improvement. However, I would really like to get to the point where you're not seeing any fabric hauls on this channel anymore because I'm only buying fabrics for projects that I already have in mind. All right, so that wraps up this video. Stay tuned for all of these wonderful projects, especially around Halloween where I'm going to be doing 6 weeks of spooky sewing. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe, stick around. I would love to have you, and I will see you next time. Bye!